As a B school student and then in the corporate world, I've analyzed many case studies. How do we write a business case study? We usually divide it into 7 steps. The first step is to inform the readers as why you are bringing it up. This can be some in form of a project definition statement. The second step is where we talk about the desired outcome. What are the specific objectives we are looking for? What is the core idea that we want to achieve? In the third step, we talk about the current situation. We usually highlight the gap between the desired state and the current situation. The fourth section talks about the analysis and recommendations and the solutions. We analyze what we aim to achieve and where we presently are. In the fifth section, we analyze a initial success criteria and measure the current scenario outcome. In the sixth step, we talk about where we failed or succeeded. What are the steps needed to turn it around? And the last step is to analyze the complete case study and highlight what we failed to achieve and why we failed in doing so. With the advent of the 21st century, we witness several horrific incidences in the name of jihad, with the objective of creating Islamic supremacy. In this video, we will analyze how this was a blunder if we consider it on the parameters of a business case study. The first major episode of Islamic terror was the World Trade Center attack on September 11, 2001. The objective was to avenge the enemies of Islam. The motives stated by Osama bin Laden were to avenge the United States for their support to Israel, American immorality, sanctions against Iraq, the presence of US military in Saudi Arabia, and the conflicts in Somalia, Chechnya, Lebanon, and the Philippines. After that, there were periodic incidences in places like Bali in 2002, Madrid train bombing in Spain in 2004, London underground train bombing in 2005, and there were incidences in bombing attacks in Egypt, Indonesia, and Jordan in the same year. In 2008, on 26/11, there was a brutal attack on the financial capital of India, Mumbai. From then on, there have been 278 incidences mentioned on Wikipedia under the list of Islamic terror attacks around the world. Approximately 16,000 people were assassinated in all these brutal attacks. The terrorists claim that the objective of these attacks is to create supremacy of the religion. To avenge these attacks, the US Army took control and attacked the hideouts of these terrorists. At least 8,01,000 people have been killed by direct war violence in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Yemen, and Pakistan. The number of people who have been wounded or fallen ill as a result of conflicts is far higher, as is the number of civilians who have died indirectly as a result of destruction of hospitals and infrastructure, environmental contamination, among other war-related problems. If we analyze the complete scenario and keep all the conspiracy theories aside, let us see from the point of view of Islamic terrorists. They aimed at creating Islamic supremacy, but ended up resulting in the death of more than 8 lakh Muslims around the globe. The process resulted in hatred and prejudice against the religion. Even a kindergarten student can sense that the process was a complete fiasco. The term jihad has been much abused to conjure up bizarre images of violent Muslims, forcing people to submit to the point of sword. This myth was perpetuated through the centuries and mistrust during and after the Crusades. Unfortunately, it survives to this day. The word jihad comes from the root word jihada, which means struggle. So, jihad is literally an act of struggling. The Prophet said that the greatest jihad is the struggle with the insidious suggestions of one's own soul. Thus, jihad primarily refers to inner struggle of being a person of virtue and submission to God in all aspects of life. The irony is that Islam is still the fastest growing religion in the world, in spite of these horrific acts and interpretations. These barbaric acts pull people away from the religion. Instead of promoting good things about the religion, like Islam doesn't differentiate on the basis of caste, creed, color, or financial stature. The concept of zakat, the compulsion to contribute to charity, special rights for women in Islam. Women have right to sell and buy properties, run businesses, demand her dowry at any point during her marriage, vote and take part in all aspects of politics and society. It is notable that many Islamic countries such as Turkey and Pakistan have had female prime ministers. Thus, it is the universality of the teachings that makes Islam the fastest growing religion in the world. In a world full of conflicts and deep schism between human beings, a world that is threatened with terrorism perpetrated by individuals and states, Islam is a beacon light that offers hope for the future. And it is nothing as these morons project it to be.